horrifying and deeply disturbing. Institutions prioritise their reputations over the protection of children, an epidemic that leaves tens of thousands of victims in its poisonous wake. Just some of the findings of a 7-year-long inquiry set up after a series of child sex abuse scandals which heard from more than 7,000 victims.
It was a very sadistic, harsh regime for boys as young as 10.
Paul was abused at Ford Park School in Devon in the 1970s and has lived with the trauma ever since.
I became an alcoholic in my younger years and I stayed like that for 25 years. I was unable to hold jobs down, relationships always went out the window. And then the more I spoke, the easier it became.
The independent inquiry into child sexual abuse was set up in 2015 after scandals like Jimmy Savile and claims of an establishment cover-up. It heard evidence from church leaders, senior police officers and government ministers, producing 2.5 million pages of evidence. In its final report, it recommends a new law so people working in positions of trust who fail to report child sex abuse can be prosecuted, a scheme for compensating victims and survivors, and the creation of a child protection authority in England and in Wales. The chair of the inquiry wants the government to make this an absolute priority.
There's a lot going on at Westminster at the moment. What is your message to the government to ensure they take note, they listen to this?
We would expect any government to take this seriously. What can be more important than the future of children and their protection?
Are organisations still failing to protect children?
Yes, they are.
I took it to the very top of the church, asking for help. He was still left in a position of trust with children.
Joanne was abused as a child by someone in a Catholic church.
The act of abuse may be historic, but it's a life sentence. The effects, it's past, present, future. It's been humiliating, violating, intrusive, distressing, traumatic, goes on and on. We've done this so that others have it easier, that future children are protected, that future children are believed.
The government is promising the start of a new chapter. Rebecca Barry, News at 10.